Computer. And if you have questions, oh, sorry. If you have questions, go ahead and unmute yourself and feel free to interrupt me. Or like, Jill, if you have anything to add, or Tara, or anybody for that matter, just something that you wish you had known when you started. Just because, you know, even though some of us have been in for a while, it's always good to kind of go back and have a little refresher. So let's go ahead and get this party started. All right, first and foremost, the one thing that I wish I had known when I started is that anybody can do this business, and there is no form, you know, there is no mold that anybody fits in, nothing like that. So that was definitely one thing that I wish I had known when starting this business, that anybody is capable of doing this. That would have probably got a little pressure off of me. You know, one thing I always told myself when I started is, oh, she has more contacts, or oh, she does this. And I was shorting myself. At the end of the day, you have as many contacts as you make. It's about going out there and actually getting the contact and just putting yourself out there. Plus you'll meet some really cool people along the way. So that's the first thing. Second would be just to keep it simple. That was one thing that I definitely did not do when I first started. It's almost humorous. I was going back through my emails. Steph Chandri and another girl, what was her name? Vanessa, were like two of my very first distributors. And when they messaged me asking about the opportunity, I sent them an email with an attachment that was like a 30-page attachment. I kid you not. It went over everything. And I have learned that depending on people's personalities, some people would look at that and be like, oh, no thanks, not for me, like way too involved, right? Not simple. It seems really complicated. Luckily for me, they didn't freak out. They must have been the right personality. But the more simple you keep it, the better, right? So when you're talking to a potential customer or potential distributor, when they ask a question, just give them an answer. You don't, I had a good example, Kaylee's on, she had a customer ask how the wraps worked. And when I first started, I would go into, it's a process called lipolysis, and this is how lipolysis works, and da-da-da-da-da. That's not what they wanted to know. All they wanted to know was you take it out of the package, you put it on, you wait 45 minutes, drink water, take it off, rub in the rest of the lotion. And just, that's how it works. Like, that's how you get your results. That's all you have to do to get the results. And of course, take before and after pictures, right? So once I started doing that, I found that it was a lot easier to like talk to people because they weren't freaked out by all the mumbo jumbo and everything. Another thing I wish I had known, and I'm still learning to do, Haley had another example today. Somebody was asking about the wraps. And I told her just to give the information about the wraps. Well, she had sent information about the system. So a little brief description about all the products in the system. Wraps were in there. And then at the end it said, well, you can save a bit of money if you want awesome results and by ordering them in a package. Well, guess what? Now that potential is not just interested in the wraps, they're interested in the entire system. So don't be afraid to put that out there too. And it's something that I'm still learning as well. Just talking to your customers about what their goals are, right? I think a lot of times it's a step that I know a lot of you kind of forget, is like, what is it that they want out of this? What are their goals? Are they looking to lose weight, or are they just looking to tighten up the skin? Because if they're looking to lose weight, you could probably get them on a couple of products, and they're probably going to like the products a lot better because they're actually getting the results they're looking for, right? They're actually, if they want weight loss and they ask you about the wraps and you just give them information about the wraps, well, yeah, they're getting tight, their skin's tightening and toning and everything's looking good, but the number on the scale isn't necessarily changing, right? And so it's just understanding what they actually want, right? So always having that conversation when they ask you about anything, just getting to the basics. What is it that you want out of this? And that goes along with just good customer service in general, right? Following up with them after they get started. How are you liking everything? Is there anything you want to change for next month? Because, everything comes out on an auto shipment. So just following up with them and getting to understand like how they're liking everything. Are they actually using the product? Have they opened it? Do they know how to use the product? Just, after they place their order a couple weeks later, just follow up. How are things going? How are you liking it so far? Goes a long way. One thing that I did when I first started that I need to get back to myself is I had a binder with all of my loyal customers in my binder. And I might actually have it. I had to move it to a really big binder. Okay, so how I have it set up, well, obviously I have my steps to success for the month at the front. But I have it set up so that if their auto shipment, for example, is set to run on the 10th, then I'll follow up with them 5 days before that. So on the 5th of the month, I'll follow up with them, just reminding them that their auto shipment's coming up and to see if they're liking their products, if they want to change anything. That way they get a reminder from not only corporate, but from myself, and then I can kind of help them through it. So I have a little tab with each day. It's numbered 1 through 25 because all auto ships in by the 25th, right? So I have a number for each day, and then so if their auto shipment is set to run on the 10th, then I put their information on the 5th. So I don't know if I have anybody on the 5th here. Let me see where I have some. Oh, here's one. So this person, I open it up on the 10th. Their auto shipment date is set to the 15th. So on the 10th, I'll message them and say, hey, just so you know. And there's sometimes, I'll do a couple days out. So I'll do like 3 days worth, or at a time or whatever. But it's just a good way to touch base with them and just see how they're liking their stuff and remind them. It avoids a lot of hassle in the back end for the people that are like, oh, I forgot that was coming out. What can I do now? I wanted to change it. And it's like, you should have paid attention to your email, because corporate does send an email to them too, but typically they might overlook that thinking it's spam. So having a personal email is never a bad idea. So that's one thing that really helps you stay organized. Organization was a good one for me that I'm glad that I kind of started with that from the get-go. It just helped things run a lot more smoothly. So good customer service. So what we've got so far is keeping it simple, making sure that we're asking our potential customers about what their goals are to get them the right products, and then customer service, following up with them, seeing how they're liking their stuff. Another thing is letting them know that it's more than just like a 3-month commitment. Yeah, they only have to order for 3 months. But they don't have to turn off their auto shipment after 3 months. This is something where they're earning points with every order that they place. They get 10% back towards free product. And so thinking about the wording when we're presenting the products to people can go a long way also. So just letting them know that they're a loyal customer for life. They're getting this discount for life. And the longer they keep that auto shipment on past the 3 months, the more in perk points that they're going to get. That's one thing we overlook a lot is the perk points. So every loyal customer earns 10% back towards free product on future purchases with each auto shipment that runs. After they have 6 months worth of consecutive orders, so 6 consecutive orders, It Works gives them an extra $50 in free product. And then if they keep it on for a year, they get another $150 in free product. So that's $200 in free stuff just for ordering one product a month for 12 months in a row. And that's on top of the 10% from everything else that they purchased. So I think I did the math one time, and I think like if you ordered Fat Fighters, I don't remember what it was, you would get, I don't remember. I forgot what my math was now. But like, Fat Fighters is one of our cheapest products, $25 a month. You make what? $250 a month. Well, you make like
$2.50 or something like
Yeah,
that.
for every month. So then you'd make about $30 in free products. So you could get, yeah, that's almost $250 in free product, and you haven't even spent that much for the 2 years. Is how it kind of came out.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so that's just one thing to make sure that they know. Like, one thing that I'll do for my loyal customers when it's their third month, be like, this is your third month. After this, you're now considered a loyal customer for life, but you can keep earning these incredible discounts and free products by keeping your auto shipment on. Is there anything you'd like to try for next month or change? So I always kind of follow up with them too. Now switching gears a little bit. So we kind of talked about customers. Another thing is not to be afraid to ask people about the opportunity. I think for me, that was one thing that I was definitely afraid of when I first started. Talking about the products was a lot easier than saying, hey, do you want to join my team? That's kind of scary, right? Because you just don't think people, I don't know why you don't think people would be interested. But the thing is, like, don't discount anybody, right? You don't know somebody's story. So like for me, people wouldn't have asked me because we were doing okay financially. It's not that I like needed extra money or anything like that, but I wanted to try the product for free because I'm cheap. But but like I wanted to meet people. I had just moved to a new area. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to work towards something. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had worked my whole life and I kind of felt lost, like I needed something. So somebody looking at me from the outside might be like, oh no, she already stays at home and she's probably happy right now. And me looking at me, I was like, I need to get out of the house a little bit and I need to work towards something. So never discount somebody, never prejudge somebody just because of their circumstance. You never know where somebody's at and who could need this journey. So don't be afraid to ask people. And at the same time, don't be afraid of the no's, because you're going to get no's, whether it's customers, distributors, no matter what. It's going to happen. And that's fine. It's not for everybody. And that's all I say. And usually people are just like, no, thank you, but I'm cheering you on. 9 times out of 10, that's what people are saying. Like, not interested, but good luck. So I'm like, yeah, no worries. I get it. It's not for everybody. That's all I say. But thank you for the support, But at least I've reached out to that person, because who knows if in like 3 years their circumstance is going to change and then they're going to remember that I reached out, right? So it's never a loss.
That's what happened with me.
Yeah, exactly. You want to share that story a little bit?
Well, I remember you messaging me and I kind of ignored them. I don't even think I responded to you. I was one of those crickets, I just nothing. And then one day you posted, about 2 years ago, you posted the triple threat and I was like, ooh, wow, I'm gaining a lot of weight. I should try this. And so when I messaged you and asked you about it, and you're like, would you be interested in joining my team? And I was like, no, I could never sell anything that I've never tried myself. And then 3 weeks into using my products, I signed up as a distributor.
Right.
So I watched you for over 2 years before I joined.
Right. Isn't that nuts? That's so crazy too, because, if I hadn't have asked you to like join my team when you messaged me, then you probably just would have been a customer.
Yep.
Because it wouldn't have been on your mind, or it wouldn't have been a possibility. So
no,
it's never going to hurt to ask, right? It's never going to hurt to ask. And it's not like you're bugging people either, because the only way you'd bug people is if you ask them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And they were like, dude, no, I said no, right?
Yeah.
Once is like your game. Seriously. Like, you never know. Along with that, hold on one second. I'm just checking off my notes because I'm kind of jumping around on them. It's kind of flowing really nice. Along with that, Posting is not asking. So simply posting on Facebook, although you might get a little bit of traction at first, is not sending out the messages and asking people, okay? That's one thing that I didn't understand at first. I put up like 5-10 posts a day, and yeah, I got a lot of interest at first, but then it kind of slowed down. I was like, okay, what do I need to do? And talking to my leadership team, they were like, you know what? You need to ask people about it. Now that they've seen you post about it for a little bit, you need to get out there and ask them. So sending people messages, talking about it when you're around other people, people will be interested. And to this day, I run into people who have never heard of It Works, which is crazy to me because I live 30 minutes away from Cedar Rapids where there's 3 Ambassador Diamonds. I would think it would be saturated, but it is not, clearly. So posting is not asking. You actually have to go out there and ask. But along with that, posting is still a must. It's not something that you can let kind of slack, because sure enough, it's that one post that you put up there. Like when Jill had been watching me forever, but it was the one post on that one specific day when it was on her mind, and she saw it and she's like, okay, I need to ask her about that. If I hadn't posted that day, guess what? She probably would have not remembered or done something different or whatever. So while posting is not asking, it's still a must. So making sure that you're talking not only about the products, but about the opportunity. If you're just getting into the opportunity or haven't gotten like where you want to be per se, talk about where you want to be, because that strikes a chord with people, So like when they see what your goals are and what you're working towards, then they're more likely to help you out, or they're more likely to dream themselves and think of this opportunity as a good vehicle for them as well. So, post about what you hope this will accomplish for not only you personally, but what it will do for your family, what it will allow you to do experience-wise, how you hope to grow from something like this, any friends that you've made like that from this. Heck, look at all of us. We never really knew each other before. Look at this awesome group. I mean, seriously, we never knew each other before It Works, and here we are. So, like the friendships that you're gaining, the self-development that you're doing, the results from the products that you're having, so talking about just the opportunity and the business, but kind of keeping it personal. Good before and after pictures, great. Don't overdo it with belly pictures, and don't make your entire timeline It Works. Throw in some experiences, family stuff, all that jazz in there, so that your audience doesn't tune out, but definitely post about that stuff. So that is something that I would say. Along with that, I talked about posting your before and afters and stuff. Be a product of the product, right? We have these amazing products. And one thing that goes a long way with people who are looking into products is, are you using them? What have you found works for you? How did you react to that? Do you like the taste of this? Being able to speak about it, it does go a long way with people, because when they hear your impression of the products, then they trust that you actually believe in them and you actually use them. Granted, when you first start, you're not going to have tried everything, and that's okay. And people get that. They totally understand that if you're just starting. So if there's something you get a question about and you haven't tried it, then say, I haven't had a chance to try that yet, but let me ask my friend what her thoughts were on it. If you've got something that you haven't tried, guarantee I've tried it. So I'll give you my opinion, or my before and afters or whatever. And don't be afraid to be honest with people. They don't expect you to know everything. Even now, people don't expect me to know everything, and I don't. They'll ask me questions. And I'm like, I never heard of that one. And then I'm like, well, let me check into it. I'll get back to you. Whether it's how much caffeine is in the keto coffee, I don't know, but I'll find out. So that's all you have to say, and people totally get that. Let's see here. People will say, no, I already said that. Parties. That's a scary word, huh? Parties.
Yeah.
Parties are where it's at, you guys. When I signed up, I told Mackenzie, I know a couple of you heard this story this weekend. When I signed up, I told Mackenzie, my enroller, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but, you know, I don't really want to post on Facebook, and I'm not going to do parties. And she must have been thinking, well, what the heck are you going to do then? But after I got into it, I was like, you know what? I bet you that makes more sense. And it did, because I was able, when I actually did host my first couple of parties, I realized I was able to get 4 or 5 girls into a room for like 15 minutes is all it really took, 15, 20 minutes tops. And I could explain some of our top sellers, and they could ask me questions right there on the spot. And it was uninterrupted time where you don't have to worry about middle of sentence typing and then kids are pulling you off and they're forgetting to respond and all that stuff. I had a good 15, 20 minutes to like sit them down and talk about what they wanted. And when I would do that, they would be circling what they wanted. They would circle on their little product catalog. Oh, I want that. Oh, that's a good, I could do that one. And so I would be able to say, well, look at your product catalog. You have at least 3 things that you've circled. Look at, that's 1, 2, 3. First, second month, third month. You can try them all. And so, you know, it just kind of got people, it's just a lot easier to talk to them face to face than in a chatting experience. Granted, chatting is totally fine. But parties are where it's at. When you have a good party, you could walk away with 400 BV, if not more. There was one weekend I had 4 parties. I walked away with 1,300 BV. So that was a good weekend. So parties are where it's at. If you haven't done a launch party, highly encourage you to do it. Or if it's been a while since you've done a party, or if you're moving to a new house, I would relaunch your business.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's never going to hurt to like give yourself a refresh, like a reboot, relaunching my business, ready for a new year, relaunching my business, whatever it is. Just getting out there and doing it is awesome. And along with that, online parties are great for long distance folks, but if you have people local, try to do it in person. I always get a lot better, like 20 times the orders from an in-person party than from a online party. Unless you're really good about following up. That's one thing I will say. Like the people who are really good about following up have better online parties. But if you're not good about following up, then just do it in person and get it done. All right. Blitzing isn't scary. Okay. For Kaylee, I know that you're newer and you're probably, do you know what blitzing is? Probably not. Go. I didn't think so. Okay. So let me see if I can find my blitz cards. I think I have them upstairs. And you don't need these to do it. But. So we have these little things that you probably would have seen in your starter kit. They're blitz cards. And basically it's just an easy way to open up a conversation and talk to somebody about It Works. I always carry these in my purse. I'll have like 3 per day is kind of my goal to give out. And I've been doing really good at it recently. But I just put these in my purse, and when I'm checking out at the grocery store or at the gas station or talking to like a random mom or whatever at Target, I'll just kind of bring up and be like, hey, I'm just wondering, would you want a coupon? And I kind of like hold it out like this, and they're like, yeah, sure. What is it? And I go, well, this is what it is. And this is what it does. And then I'm quiet, and I kind of let them look at it, and they're like, huh. And usually they'll say something like, I've never heard of that before. Or, yeah, but does it really work? And then I'll be like, yeah, the company's name is It Works. So it's just a good conversation starter. Sometimes people will just take them and be like, oh, thanks. And then whatever, at least they got my info. But it's a good conversation starter. So if there is somebody that's interested, I can hand them one of these, and then I might friend them on Facebook so I can find them later. But these are just kind of a little handy tool. You don't need these to blitz. Blitzing is just opening your mouth. So if you're talking to somebody, you could just take a picture of this and say, well, I'm out of coupons, but I could this is my last coupon, but I could text you the coupon if you'd like, and then you can get their phone number and text them the coupon. That's a nice way. And then you don't have to carry these all around or buy them or anything. So blitzing is just opening your mouth basically about the business, about the products, about the opportunity. And at first it seems really scary. But you will never get less scared of it if you never do it. I promise you that. It may not seem like it because I'm really good about speaking in front of people that I know, but when it comes to people I don't know, like in person, I get really nervous about blitzing and asking them. Like, I mean, what's the worst they're going to do? Say no, probably. That's it. So yeah, I think the worst thing that ever happened to me is I went to the gas station. I went to hand somebody and she goes, "No, I'm not interested." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I walked out and I was like, I lived. Somebody said no, and I'm alive. So that was cool. So that's one thing I wish I knew when I started. Blitzing isn't scary. It took me a few months to start blitzing, and I really feel like I lost out on a lot of valuable time. So blitzing is something that if you can, you should be doing whenever you're out and about. Even just if you have a shirt or whatever, just wearing that and letting it be a conversation starter into your business, then that's another way to blitz as well. So
and if you have the extra cards, leave them places.
Yeah.
Put them in bathrooms. If I go to the bathroom in a public place, I leave a blitz card.
Heck yeah.
She did it at several bathrooms on our way to and from Iowa.
And a nice way or easy thing to what I used to do, and I should actually buy a pack, but you know those little garage sale tags, like the round stickers, the neon stickers where you can like write your price on them or whatever. Well, I would just keep a package of those in my purse, and then I would just peel it off and like stick it to the door, so it's like right in front of them. Like when they close the bathroom door and they're down there sitting, they're looking right at it. You know, so that's one thing.
I left one on the toilet paper roll once.
Yeah. So they have to like look at it. I like putting it right in front of it because they don't notice it right away. But once they're like sitting around like doing their thing, then they're like, "Huh, what's that?" So that's a little trick as well. Oh, putting them on just like community boards. Like gas stations always have like a tack board outside of the restrooms, or like Panera Bread always has a tack board. Jimmy John's always has a tack board where people can put up like flyers and business cards and stuff. That's always a good idea too. Something that I do as well. All right, so blitzing. I already talked about that. Don't prejudge. Oh, here's a good one. Once you start to, I'll do this first. Or once you're in your business, so there's two ways to earn commissions with this company, right? The first one is by ordering 80 BV worth of product. And the second one is by having 150 BV in sales, okay? So while I say be a product of the product, I always would suggest you to just run your 80 BV auto shipment for the month, because you're automatically commissions qualified and you don't have to worry about like not having enough orders or anything like that. So I like to just suggest run your 80 BV auto shipment. However, that being said, I understand that it's not always reasonable for people to be able to do that, especially when you're just starting and you haven't really built a team yet. You're not getting that residual income in. So just be aware of what your goals are. If you're not going to run an 80 BV auto ship by the 25th, then make sure that you're getting 150 in sales for the month so that you can be commissions qualified, okay? 150 BV, and kind of keep track of it and understand where you are at BV wise, so you know where you're going to be. Now, granted, if you have, for example, let's say you have 140 BV in sales for the month, so you're 10 shy, you can just place an order yourself, and that will count towards your BV to make you commissions qualified. So you just need to purchase something one of our cheapest products would do. So like essential oils or Confianza, the stress relief pill or whatever, just to get you that 150. So in that case, then, you know, just place a small order to get you there. So that does count. So just kind of be aware of where everything is, but be smart with your money. You know, if you're gonna run an 80 BV auto shipment, I would just run as close to 80 BV as you can. Don't go way over or anything like that, because if you get to the end of the month and you have like a little team built, then you can always place an order and put it under some people, which I'll get into all of that later, but you can always place orders for that extra product and use it in your downline for the volume. So for the auto shipments, keep it as close to 80 as possible. That's always my rule of thumb. I'm always like right at 80. So I usually do a new U and a probiotic is exactly 80 BV. So that's kind of my auto shipment. And along with spending your money smart, don't buy product back from people unless it was your mistake, right? So I've had customers that I had messaged them, I had emailed them letting them know that their auto shipment was coming up and that they only had until this date to change it. And if they didn't get back to me and they ordered the wrong product, then that was on them. Now, if they did get back to me and I failed to change it and they got the wrong product, in that case, I would try to make it right. Okay. But, otherwise, be smart with your money. Don't buy used products from other people. It's really, even if it's cheaper, you're really not gaining anything from it, okay? Because you don't get paid on that. You get paid on your sales and your BV. And if you're buying product from everywhere else, then you're not earning any BV, which is the bonus volume that is associated with each product. So be really smart with your money in that circumstance. Just a couple more things here. I'm almost done. How are you liking it all so far? So far, so good. Thumbs up. Good? Okay. Here's a big one. Don't let those $100 bonuses go away. We all are eligible for a $100 bonus every time we get a new teammate on the team and when they get 2 customers in their first 30 days. Okay? So it's our job as leaders to help all of our new distributors to understand that, so that they know that their first goal is to get 4 customers in 30 days so they can get their shopping spree, right? They get a $100 shopping spree if they can get 4 loyal customers in their first 30 days. If they get 2 loyal customers in 30 days, then you get a $100 bonus, right? So just first of all, you want to set them up for success. Let them know what their first goal is. Keep it simple with them too. Just one step at a time. When they sign up, this is your first goal. You want to get 4 loyal customers and watch the trainings, right? But don't let your $100 bonuses go to waste. If they only have 1 loyal customer, and they're getting close to their 30 days and they don't have like any parties or anything lined up, then maybe you need to bust your butt and get a second loyal customer to put underneath them so that you can earn yourself a $100 bonus, right? And it's worth it to get those. Those add up. Those really do add up. So don't let those bad boys go to waste. Plus, if you let them know early enough that they're working towards those 4 loyal customers, it shouldn't be a problem. And kind of once they're 15 days in, maybe follow up and say, hey, you only have 15 days. Do you want to do a launch party? Try to launch them within 2 weeks if they're willing to do that, because the sooner you get them going, the better. They're not going to miss out on that stuff. So that is that. Also understanding that people will quit. That was hard for me when I first started. I was like, why? You signed up to do this. Why are you quitting? You haven't even done anything yet. And understanding that some people just need time, like Danielle, who's not on right now, she just needed some time. Stephanie Owens just needed some time. Some people just need time. But then some people realize that it's just not a good fit, and understanding that it's not for everybody, and just understanding it's a numbers game. You're flipping over a deck of cards. Each card you flip over, you're going to get a number, right? It might be an ace, it might be your total rock star, or it might be a dud, it might be a 2, right? But you have to keep flipping over the cards until you get your aces, right? And that's where you really start to see, you know, with perseverance and all that, that's where you start to see good things happen. So don't let one distract you from helping the others, right? Keep flipping those cards. One more thing, your why. It's really important to establish a why. If you don't have a why, or if you've been in for a while, maybe your why has changed. I've said it before, I encourage you guys to figure out, what are you doing this for? What do you want to get out of this? And whether it's for yourself, for your family, for your future, for right now, whatever it is, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Because if you don't know why you're doing this, then it's going to be easy to just give it all up. And then where are you? You're not going to be any better off than where you were. So understand why you're doing this, because I tell you, it's worth it. You're worth it. And I just want you all to know that, like, you are all worth it. And hold tight to that. Hold tight to it. And don't let anything stop you. Okay. Brings me to my final point, which is run. Now is the time. Run, 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 run. This is the time of year where we start to, plant those seeds and wait for our harvest to come. It's kind of backwards because our seeds are planted in the fall and our harvest comes in the spring. But that's our business, right? We get really crazy busy January, February, March, April, May, June, and into July. And right now is the time to start planting those seeds, so that when people start to think about their New Year's resolutions, or when they're shoving that pie down their face, they're thinking, oh, I need to contact Tara and get those fat fighters she was talking about, or I really need to do that system that Katie was talking about. So like now is the time to work it, to message people, to really post about stuff. Maybe start your own journey so that come January 1, you can show your before and after, and then people will be like, what did you do? I need to do that. So now is the time to run. And that's all I got for you. And that was a lot, but I recorded it, so we're good. Does anybody have any questions or anything that they'd like to add as far as things they wish they had known when they started?
Just like you said, keep it simple and don't have diarrhea of the mouth, because I know that was my problem, and I think that's a lot of people's problems in the beginning.
Yeah. Just saying too much and not letting people have a chance to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I would first blitz and hand people my card, I'm like, yeah, it's a wrap and you wear it for 45 minutes and it helps tone, tighten, and firm, loose skin, and cellulite. I did mine on and then people tuned out and they're like, okay, thanks, crazy. But when I'm like, this is what it is, this is what it does, and then I was quiet, no diarrhea of the mouth. It was awesome. And then they'd ask me questions and then I could just answer them.
Yep.
And I just want to reiterate that you don't have to have all the answers. It's okay to say you don't know, and you can find out.
100%. You're human. None of us went to school for chemistry. We don't know how every product is going to react with every medication out there and what every ingredient in, the Greens Chews are, because there's about 1 billion. But we can ask, and people understand that because we're human, right?
Yep.
All right. Cool. All right, don't forget, I have the post ideas page up still, so if you're looking for ideas to post, you can go on that page, and actually you can search keywords. So if you want to do a post about greens, you can search #greens, because each post has the hashtag with what the product is, or #opportunity. If you want an opportunity post, it'll come up with all the different posts. So that's an easy way to search through that post ideas page. So make sure you're checking that out. If you ever come to a point where you're like, I don't know what to post, go there, copy paste, easy peasy. So that's ready for you. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I think that's all I have for you. Hope you all have an awesome night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ash. You're awesome.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.